Ah, damn white feathery piece of crap. Got away from me again. Oh, don't worry, Seagull. I'll get you someday. Someday! You have your enemies in life, I have mine. Just go with it. Okay, this will be the 13 nights of HoroWeen. Ooh! Day 12. And yes, I gotta do the ooh every single time. It's just a thing that has to be done. Okay, so this one is going to be all about a Navy Admiral. Guess which one? There's actually only two Navy Admirals that actually made it on the list. Pretty sure you all know one of them is a Kainu, which, spoiler alert, yes it is. But as for the other one, you want to guess? You want to put in your hat right now? Okay, everyone have their guesses in? Okay. 1, 2, 3, Kizaru! Yes! Kizaru and a Kainu, the only two Navy Admirals that actually made it on the list. It's actually funny, because Kizaru actually stayed as an Admiral from, before the time skip and after, as Aokiji had to leave the Marines, and then Sakazuki was promoted to Fleet Admiral. Kizaru is in the background, just kind of like, you guys have your foot. I'm cool with where I'm at right now, I've already mentioned this before in my discussion video about him. Right here. But Kizaru is fucking terrifying. Okay, he is terrifying because you absolutely don't know what he's going to do. Like I said, I used this comparison before, but I'll just give it to you again. If you haven't, I'll spare you from watching that video. Just watch this one. A Kainu rocks into town. You know what he's all about. Okay, absolute justice. You will find the pirate scum, and you'll either capture them or kill them. That's what you do. If you see him coming and you're a pirate, run away. There's going to be no mercy. You run into Aokiji. Okay, well he's a little bit more about, a little bit more moral kind of justice. He'll judge upon the situation. He might be actually sleeping if you run onto him. And if you're like a really high-ranking pirate, like if you got a really big bounty, he's probably going to take you in. But if you're just some kind of pirate riffraff, he's not going to be up all on your ass. He's not going to be like, oh, get back here, you random pirate guy with a bounty of 1.5 million. Screw you. I'm going back to sleep. He's not going to do it, all right? So you might actually be able to get away with him. You might even actually be able to talk with him and strike up a conversation, right? But with Kizaru, you just don't know. You have no idea what this guy's going to do. You bump into him in the middle of town. You're a pirate. He'll either be like, hey, man. Hey, do you know where I can get some primo hash around here? He could be chill, or he could light speed kick his freaking loafers right upside your head and knock you through 16 walls, killing you about 70 times before you hit the actual ground. That's what else he could do. Alright? He has the devil fruit, the Pika Pika no Mi, which allows him to actually turn into light. Now, there has been much debate. I'll ask you to weigh in on this. Can Kizaru actually legitimately travel at the speed of light? Some people have said yes, he can. Other people have said no, because whereas he might have the capability of traveling at the speed of light, he wouldn't actually be able to be aware of his surroundings traveling that fast, so therefore he wouldn't be able to do it. Keep in mind, the first time we see Kizaru, right, it's because he got summoned to Sabaody because Luffy punched Charlos, right? Well, Marine HQ is really close to Sabaody. It's really not that far. So you feel like if Kizaru really wanted to get there in a hurry, he could have just, like, gotten out of his office, opened up the balcony, stepped out, faced the direction of Sabaody, light speed, there, done, arrived, gone, you're there already. But no, he took the trouble of getting on a Navy battleship and arriving there. Granted, when he got there, he jumped up on a cannonball and got fired at the actual island just for theatrics, I guess. But I want to say, like, if he could legitimately travel at the speed of light, he could go anywhere he would want in the One Piece world, like that. So maybe he can, it's just really detrimental. He wouldn't be able to aware of his surroundings, wouldn't be able to keep track of his surroundings if he did that. Okay, well, anyway, what's he up to now? We don't really know. The only time I think we've seen him that's been of any sort of relevance in the story ever since the time skip, well, he appears in the backstory capturing Arlong back when he was a Vice Admiral, so we see that. But the only time he really shows up is during the introduction of Edward Weevil, where we see him in his office, and I think it was in his office that we get to see the big banner behind him, whereas, you know, Akainu is absolute justice, and you see Aokiji, who's like moral justice. You also see Kizaru, who's unclear justice. So it's very unclear, as I stated, and he was just sitting there questioning the legitimacy of Edward Weevil's, you know, prestige. You know, is his father really Whitebeard? You know, and some people have doubts, and that's all he was really there to do. We haven't seen him show up on any of the islands to directly confront the Stryads, but that doesn't ignore the fact that he is a serious threat that's still around, that's going to have to be dealt with at some point. Who's going to fight him? I have no idea, but, you know, if Luffy's going to take on Akainu, which I think it has to happen, Zoro has to take on Fujitora because he has the sword. I mean, they've already had a clash before, and maybe Sanji's going to take on Kizaru. We've already seen him do it in the Hard Knock Days opening. We saw Sanji and Kizaru squaring off. I could see that, yeah, sure. It's just getting over, like, even if he can't travel at light speed, he's still wicked fast. He is still redonkulously fast, and being made of light means that he brings that intangibility to a whole other level, whereas on top of being intangible, he can also form any number of weapons he wants, like a spear, a harpoon, a sword, a shield. He can make pretty much anything he wants out of light energy and shoot it. He can shoot out lasers. It's what the Pacifista's lasers are based on. The only time that we saw him actually kind of fighting on par with somebody was Rayleigh, who, you know, had observation hockey tuned to like the highest point probably, and so they can actually clash fairly well. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of other things we haven't seen that he could do with the Pika Pika no Mi. Like, I always thought he would be able to make clones of himself really easy. Like, even if not just like physical clones that can do damage, which why not? Why wouldn't he be able to do that? But also like just like mirages. Like, you have the ability to bend the light spectrum to your will. You know, at least make a few, you know, cool like clones and everything, kind of like what Nami does. You know, we have the Yata no Kagami, which allows him to travel fast and bounce off of certain surfaces, and the Yasakani no Magatama, which shoots out like a bunch of laser bullets. So that's all well and good. And then we have the long sword thing he can use. So his attacks are all based off of Japanese treasures. But I just think there's way more that we haven't seen with the Pika Pika no Mi, and the fact that he, you know, is such a feared admiral, despite the fact that his demeanor is not really, doesn't really reflect that. But I think it does. I think it does. I think it's easy to look at Borsalino, Kizaru, and just think like, oh, he's just some stoner dude. He's not going to hurt us. But in reality, he has that, you know, he really takes his job seriously. He's not like Aokiji. So, yeah, he's not as brutal as Akainu either, but sometimes he can be. You know, it's sort of like he phases out on that spectrum. It's really nuts. But I hope to see him again in the story, and good job for making it on number 12 on the top 13. It's really hard to forget about Kizaru. Okay, well, thanks everybody for watching. Moving on to day number 11. And
Aha!
Just when you think my presence on this earth has been forgotten, I return in all my glory. As vampire Tekking, gaze upon my beautiful reborn body. Hark now, mortal. Are you that shocked to see me again? Yeah, I mean, like, I'm a little bit more honestly surprised that you're here at all. Like, I thought you guys kind of left after the whole Bleach reviews were over. I haven't seen you in forever. How you been, buddy? Ha! I but made a brief journey to the Alcoholics Anonymous to recover from my small, tiny addiction, but I am now returned, and I beseech thee, no, I command thee. I desire to do these 13 nights of HoroWeen that you have so created. Deny me this right, and I will snap your neck where you stand, mortal! No, dude, it's fine. You could do a few days. I mean, this is more of your shtick anyway, so really you can... Oh. Oh, wait, you were gonna give it to me anyway. Oh, well, it's been a while since I did the old telekinetic neck snap. You get a hankering for these things every now and then. Okay then. I guess we're doing this.